Are you new to golf? Or maybe you've been golfing for a few years but really want to get better. And now you're asking yourself, what are the best golf clubs to get better and lower my scores quickly? What's going to help me the fastest? Will it be a club or will it be lessons? Find out now. Hey everyone, it's Craig with Single Length School. Yeah, clubs. You're a beginner or maybe recently started your golf journey and you want to lower your scores and try and get better. But you don't have a lot of time to spend on the course and you don't have a lot of time to go to lessons. So how can you get better? Well, I'm going to tell you. But first, I want everyone to do me a favor. If you've not yet done so, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the notifications bell right beside it. And don't forget, go give me a follow on my social media pages. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Search Single Length School and you will find me. So the holy grail question for beginners and novices in the golf world, ones that are new to the golf game, is how can I get better faster? And what are the best clubs for a beginner golfer? Well, it's simple. And I mean, it's got to be simple. You have to keep things as simple as possible when you're taking up the game of golf and beginning down this road of what is a very complicated game. And how do you do that? What are your best options when it comes to clubs? Well, you can go out and buy a set off the rack at any big box store. You can order off Amazon. But 95% or more of the clubs you are going to buy are going to have one fatal flaw that's going to make it harder for you to learn this game. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Here in my hands, I hold two different clubs. I hold what is essentially my 8-iron, and I hold a wedge. And what we find is that if I hold them both here at the bottom and we look up here at the tops, you can see they're different lengths. Now, what does that do for a beginner's golf game? Why does it make it more difficult? Well, because with different lengths, I have to change a lot of things about the golf swing. With the shorter clubs, I have to move the ball towards my back foot. And then my swing changes because of the angles. With a longer club, I'm going to be further away from the ball. The ball's going to move up in my stance towards my front foot. And again, my angle of attack from my swing is now going to change. And when you're talking that every single club in your bag is a different length, that means there's 14 different clubs that you have to get good at to lower your scores. And it just isn't possible. Because not only are there 14 different clubs you have to get used to, you have to find the perfect location for your ball placement, the perfect distance away from the ball, the perfect angle of attack and swing to attack that ball to hit a good golf shot. There's so many combinations. There's at least 3 different things that you have to master with each club to hit a good golf shot. And when you factor that in by 14 different clubs, now you're talking about thousands of different variables where if one is off, then you hit a terrible shot. And that's what I'm talking about. Let's make it simpler. And how do we make the golf or the game of golf simpler? Well, for beginners and novice golfers that really want to get better. And I'm starting to see this pop up all over the internet from different golf coaches around the world, from different pros around the world. How can you get better at golf fast? What should the beginner golfer be using to lower their scores and get better fast? Well, if you can take those 14 different clubs and instead of having to learn 14 different swings and ball positions and attack angles, what if you only had to do it for a couple clubs? What am I talking about? Well, your driver's always going to be the longest club in the bag. And then your woods are going to be a little bit shorter than your driver, but longer than your irons. But if all your irons you could approach exactly the same way and have the exact same ball position and the exact same angle of attack and the exact same distance away from the ball, wouldn't that allow you to be more consistent? Wouldn't that allow you to better focus on that swing and perfect your iron swing as opposed to trying to learn? Typically, guys have 10 different irons in the bag. Instead of 10, what if you only had to learn one? And that's what I'm getting to. Single length irons are the way to make that happen. Now, they're still not fully mainstream, but they are becoming more and more popular, especially among amateurs, beginner golfers, novice golfers that want to get better and don't have all the time in the world to spend on the course. So, with single length irons, from your 4-iron through your sand wedge, all the clubs are exactly the same length. They all, in most cases, have the same lie angle, which is the way the club sits on the ground. Your lie angle is this angle here. So it affects how the club rests on the ground. Same length, same lie angle. The only difference is the loft on the face of the club, which is what puts the ball into the air. So let me show you what my irons look like. These are 3 of my irons. I've got my 4-iron, my 8-iron, and my sand wedge. And when I put them all here at the bottom of my hand, and we look at the length, look at that. They're all the same length. From 4-iron through sand wedge, all my clubs are the same length. What does that mean for me? As I mentioned earlier, that means I just have to master one iron swing. I can learn a driver swing, a swing for my 3-wood, my 5-wood, a swing for my putter, but I only have to learn one other swing for all of my irons. And every time I step up to the ball goes into the same position between my feet. I'm the same distance away from the ball. And then all I have to do is make the same swing that I use with all of my irons. So when I go to the driving range and practice, every time I hit a different iron, I'm practicing all 10 of my irons. So if I practice a pitching wedge on the driving range, I'm practicing my 4-iron, my 5-iron, my 6-iron, and so on. It makes you become a better golfer faster. You don't need lessons to get better fast. Do they help? Absolutely. Lessons will always help a golfer get better. But if you want to save money and get better faster without having the time to go take a golf lesson, don't be afraid to spend a little bit of money and buy a set of single length irons. That's the best way to get a beginner golfer or someone still new to the game that's struggling with consistency to get better at the game faster. Now, what options are you, or what iron options are out there for those interested in single length irons? Well, I'll cover that in another video here within the upcoming weeks. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notifications bell so you know when that video, as well as all my other videos, release. But the key and the fastest way to get a beginner golfer or novice golfer better is going to be to switch into single length irons. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope you enjoy this video. And if you're a beginner golfer or novice golfer, seriously look into single length irons. It's going to help your game get better faster. As I said, I'm Craig with Single Length School. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see everyone in the fairways soon.